everybody. Good afternoon, 2MB Studios. Good morning. Some of you maybe. You're here on twitch.tv/2MB Studios. It is 7 p.m. It is Monday night. My name is Misinformation, and that means that we're here to play a little game we like to call That Sounds Right. That sounds right. Everybody, we have a very exciting show ahead of ourselves tonight. But before I bring out the contestants and tell you why I'm just so excited, I'm going to bring in my co-host, Will, actually. Will, good day.
Good day, good morning to some of our friends across the pond or wherever else you might be. I am equally excited, Misinformation, because it's going to be a phenomenal show.
I'm really glad. I'm glad to hear that, Will. I'm glad you're excited. I hope our contestants are excited. Will, I have a question. I'm a little confused because it's usually very dark out when we do the show. I'm looking out my window. It's brighter than usual. Why is that, Will? You always know everything.
Well, that's because the clocks changed forward by an hour, so it's daylight saving time. So it's actually a different time.
It's a different time than it normally is right now?
That sounds right.
All right. Will, thank you.
My pleasure. Always here for the hot facts.
Let's go ahead and bring in our contestants. I just learned something from Will, actually. I just learned what daylight savings is. And it's when now is not the time that it normally is at. When I bring in my contestants, I'm hoping to learn some new things from them tonight as well. And I think I will, because we've got a few degree holders here tonight. Let's talk about that. We've got Jess. Jess, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hi, Jess. We have Britt. Britt, thanks for being here.
Yay!
Yeah. And we have Kenny. Kenny, what's up?
Is this thing on? I'm just kidding.
Oh, you. Now, I mentioned that our contestants tonight are degree holders. And what degree is that? Well, it's none other than their degree from 2MB University from right here, because all three of these contestants are winners of previous episodes.
How? I don't know. I won, I guess, 1 week.
Woo! And Kenny as well. And all three of these contestants, they won the week they were on, and they are back, which means tonight we're not just competing for undergraduate degrees. No. We are competing for our master's degrees tonight from 2MB University. Only one person can walk away with a master's degree. That's how getting a master's works. It's competitive. It is high stakes.
Oh.
And that's what they're doing here tonight.
Okay.
You know, before we start, since you've all been here before, I'd love to go around and just hear one thing that you're hoping to do with your advanced degree from 2MB University if you walk away with the win tonight. Jess, what are you going to do with it?
Well, with my advanced degree, with finally having a master's degree, I'd like to make my father proud.
Wow, Jess, that's compelling. Britt, what about you? What are you going to do with it?
Well, this will be my second master's degree. My first one was in education, which honestly, like, who gives a flying F anymore? Because, like, this is way more important.
Right.
If I get this degree, I'm going to make sure that the world knows that mother effing Fiesta potatoes from Taco Bell.
Thank you so much.
That's
wow.
Right.
You know, I love
it. So maybe I don't need my master's degree. I'm just here to have a good time.
I love that we're starting out with such an important announcement. Just, you know, it's nice that you're trying to make your father proud, but more importantly,
Britt needs Fiesta potatoes.
Britt needs to tell the world about the Fiesta potatoes. Kenny, what are you doing here? What are you hoping?
Well, I hope that with the degree, it allows me access to research funds and scientists to figure out if dinosaurs is lizards or if they is birds. And we got to figure it out once and for all, because Jurassic Park says they is birds, but other sources say they is lizards. So we'll figure it out.
Kenny, I can see that you've clearly already learned so much with your undergraduate degree from 2MB University. And now with a master's, you could take your research on dinosaurs to that next level. I mean, I have no idea if these is birds or lizards.
We don't know. We just don't know.
Nobody knows. That's the point. And we're not here to talk about things people know. We're here to talk about things that sound right. And with that, let's dive into our first round here. We've gotten to know our masters candidates a little bit so far. Let's see what knowledge they have to put on display with our first question, which is going to be, what is the official bird of Redondo Beach, California? All right, we're looking for the official bird here of Redondo Beach in California. I can't wait to hear. Jess, let's hear your answer.
Yes. The official bird of Redondo Beach, California is actually the Goodyear Blimp.
The official bird is the Goodyear Blimp. In 1983, in anticipation of the 1984 Olympics, the Los Angeles City Council or mayor or somebody important in Los Angeles was like, hey, we need a marketing ploy to get people interested in the Olympics being here. So we're going to declare the Goodyear Blimp, which often floats over sporting events. We're going to name it the official bird of Redondo Beach. Wow. You know, Jess, that's a really interesting answer because for those of you who don't know, audience members, the Goodyear Blimp is not actually a bird at all. For those of you who never have seen the Goodyear Blimp, it's essentially an extra large balloon sort of situation with, I believe it says Goodyear on it. Does it not? Does it say Goodyear?
It does say Goodyear.
Okay.
Not a bird at all, in fact. Jess, really compelling argument. Britt, what's your answer?
Actually, it's a trick question because birds aren't real. As we all know, the famous theory is that Ronald Reagan replaced birds with government cameras, and there's actually spies. So it's a trick question. There's no birds. So why would there be a national bird?
So Redondo Beach, California, it recognizes this.
Yes. Did we lose misinformation? Did I break? They know the government shut her off. Oh no,
We're free.
Britt, you should have told.
Oh my God, what have I done?
What did you do to misinformation, Britt? She's a national treasure.
Oh my God.
Britt's revealing national secrets, and they took the host.
Oh my God, what have I
Yes, the
done?
potatoes, Britt. It's the potatoes. What did you do?
Oh my God.
All right, it's our show now, folks.
Well, hopefully she'll get back
Britt.
on soon.
I just literally choked on my cinnamon puff.
There
oh my
she
God.
is.
Oh.
Right in the middle of your answer. My apologies, everyone. I'm back. I'm here. I'm present.
God,
Britt,
you're here.
Please, everybody, calm down.
I can't. I'm done.
Nervous.
I am here. First question. We're really off to the races. Britt, let me summarize what I heard. Let me know if I'm missing
I
any
changed my answer
details.
because I think the government shut you down. Please change my answer.
Britt,
Okay.
you've said what you've said, and you've said it live
Okay.
on the internet,
That's true.
unfortunately, so you
That's
have to
true.
stick with your answer,
Okay.
which
You're
I
right.
believe was that no real birds exist. Redondo Beach recognizes that no birds
They
are
are the
real
only
birds. They're spies.
Recognize it. Yes.
They're
They
spies
are
of the government.
they're like the main character in that movie. Whatever. You'll figure it out what movie I'm talking about. I don't know.
Yep. All right. Understood. So Britt's
I'm
answer is
frazzled.
no birds. In fact, no birds. All right. Let's go with Kenny. Kenny, what's your answer?
So my mom grew up near Santa Monica in Los Angeles, and that's where Redondo Beach is. And the bird is the seagull, because if you look around, like, birds, no one ever picks seagulls because they're not like the fanciest bird in the world. But seagulls was completely untaken, so Redondo Beach took it because they're on the beach. And so it's kind of like a fun fact of, like, it's the seagull. No one else has that, even though there's tons of places with seagulls. So
Right. Because it's so unique is the reason.
it's kind of like a fun fact because it's unique in that it's not unique. Is that no one else chose to pick it, you know?
It's unique in that it's not unique.
Lots of beach towns have seagulls, but none of them made their bird the seagull.
I see. I understand. So
that's why it's a fun fact, is because so many places don't have. They chose a different bird, but Redondo Beach is like, we'll just take the seagull. It's everywhere.
That most beach towns, despite being plagued by seagulls, probably shouldn't. They don't want to promote them.
Right, but not Redondo Beach.
They're proud of their gulls.
I honestly, seagulls are insane. And for another time, I got attacked by seagulls last summer, about 10 of them, and they're actually very unfriendly. So
I've had to fight seagulls before.
Yep.
Not like in like hand-to-hand combat, but like
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Kenny, it sounds like the other two contestants have not had such positive experiences with seagulls. Would you like
I've had
to
great experiences with blimps?
I've had fun experiences. We had fun. My grandmother lived near Venice Beach when I was growing up, and so we would go down to the boardwalk, and we used to throw chicken nuggets, and they would go eat them. I don't know. We found it fun. I mean, they are bullies, but it is kind of a fun thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a beloved activity. That's a good point, Kenny. I'm seeing a lot of hate for seagulls in the chat, but chat, I want to remind you that I'm easily swayed by your experience here, by the answers that you think sound right. So if at any time you'd like to try and convince me to give points to one of these contestants, I am very open to hearing it. Just to reiterate the answers we have, Jess, you think the official bird of Redondo Beach is the Goodyear Blimp.
Yes.
Britt, you think the official bird of Redondo Beach is no birds, they are spies for the government. And Kenny, you believe that the official bird is the seagull. The official bird of Redondo Beach is this seagull.
Yeah.
Now, listen, I love to go with the chat. I also love to go with common sense. And here, there's only one bird in the answer. We're looking for an official bird of Redondo Beach, okay? We have a blimp, we have government spies, and we have seagulls. I think the answer is obvious. No one would hold this against me, that I'm going to give 5 points for the answer that sounds right, which is the one that is a bird, okay? So, Kenny, I'm going to give you 5 points. Round 1 goes to Kenny for seagull, because Jess and Britt, again, I don't want to harp on this, but Kenny is the only one who did give me a bird, who was able to name a bird.
Yeah.
Well, I'm able to name a bird. That wasn't the question. Was can you name a bird?
That wasn't the question, and actually, Kenny is not correct on this one. It was a blimp.
My mom is from San Francisco, not Redondo Beach. Full
lies.
Boom.
I thought Kenny had a personal
never been to
experience.
California.
Kenny, you gave us a fun anecdote. Jess couldn't even name a bird.
I can name a bird, but that wasn't the question.
What we've learned today so far is that Kenny knows what a seagull is, and Jess can name the official bird of Redondo Beach, which is in fact the Goodyear
Name
Blimp.
a bird.
All right.
A robin. A robin. There you go.
Not real.
Okay.
There's 2 birds.
Not real.
For anyone who's keeping track, Jess is the only one who's given true information so far, and Kenny is the only one who has any points so far in this game. All right? That's how this works. Let's dive into question 2. I'm so sorry. Will, it's been many weeks. Let's go on to the next question here, which is, what is unique about the comb jellyfish? I'm seeing in the chat that I've been fired. I want to let everyone know that is misinformation. I have not been fired. I'm here. I'm running the show. I'm in charge here, and I will not stand a chat mutiny this week. Not on the week of master's degrees. Once again,
there you go.
What is unique about comb jellyfish? Britt, you first.
Mm-hmm. All right. The comb jellyfish. What's really interesting about that, and I know a lot about this because I when I was a kid, one of my obsessions was the aquarium. So obviously, I would love seeing the fish and the jellyfish and all that. So the jellyfish, I learned about the comb jellyfish, and that it actually has a spinal tipped penis, which that's fucking hilarious. So
a spinal tipped penis.
A little spinal tip penis. And it's obviously you can see, you can't see it, but it's the genitalia of it. So
Britt,
yeah.
Just to clarify, a spinal tipped penis would be a penis that the spinal cord extends sort of into? Okay.
Yeah, so that's the crazy part about it.
Okay, Britt, I'm going to go to Kenny next. I'd love if you can draw me a picture of that, a diagram, just to let us know what that looks like. Work on that while Kenny's giving his answer. Kenny, go ahead.
Okay, so my heart was kind of in my chest because Britt's is so close to the truth of it, which is, this is a fun fact I learned in high school in a bio class, which is that, you know how they talk about how dolphins and humans are the ones that like to get it on? Comb jellyfish are another species that also seems to like procreation. So they kind of join this weird, like, this weird sort of like humans, dolphins, comb jellyfish are these species that seem to enjoy having relations for fun.
Okay, Kenny. So jellyfish, these comb jellyfish, they get it on just for the joy
pleasure.
of it, for pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Can jellyfish feel pleasure? It's my understanding they have a pretty simple nervous system.
It's the behavior that they're doing it when they don't need to.
I see. So it could be. I guess we shouldn't assume the reason. It could be for any number of reasons.
It seems they just like to.
That could be true, Kenny. You know, could be true. That could be true.
Could be true.
Britt's still working on the diagram over there. Oh, great.
All right. So this is the comb jellyfish. This is its underbelly. So I'm just showing you 3D effect, like it's perspective.
Okay.
So that's the underbelly. Yep. And then there's the spinal tip penis. It'll like pop out, and like if you've ever seen green porn with Isabella Rossellini, she probably does an episode on it. Really great series, by the way. I highly suggest on YouTube. But it's like pip like that. And and
that's the spinal cord in the penis.
Yeah, so the spinal cord, I didn't draw the spinal cord because like I wanted to just show my artistic interpretation. So that's it. Yeah.
Thank you, Britt.
You're welcome. Thank you for letting me express that. And the truth, you know.
Oh, that was very informative. Jess, let's hear your answer.
Yeah. So the unique thing about the comb jellyfish is actually it's got a disappearing butt. So they've done they've done studies right down at Woods Hole.
Sorry, Kenny just nodded like.
Yeah,
these are all like, but these are all dirty answers.
So they've done down at Woods Hole, right down, a couple towns over from where I am. They've done studies on them, and when the anal gland is not in use, it cannot be detected anywhere. So it is completely invisible when it is not actively being used. Disappearing butt.
And so it's a comb jellyfish. So remind me, Jess, do they have a separate mouth and anus, or is it one and the same? Because some of these sea creatures, they have a common hole.
Yeah, no, this one's got two holes. One of
mm-hmm.
One of them you can always see.
You can always see the mouth.
Always see the mouth. It's always big old smile, real happy jellyfish, disappearing butt.
But they're shy.
They're shy. They're very
shy
bashful.
of butt, perhaps.
Yeah.
Okay.
More like Shia LaBeouf. Oh, what?
So, audience members, just to recap these answers, because I know only one of them had a visual aid. So let's go back over these. So Britt,
I can make a visual aid.
I can't draw mine because it disappears, so I can't draw a disappearing butt because it's
I got
not
a
there.
spinal tip penis.
But I can name a butt. I can name a butt. Everybody.
Jess, I think you already have, and it's the butt of the comb jellyfish. Yeah. Britt, you've drawn us a spinal tipped penis. And Kenny right now, I believe, is drawing us two jellyfish having sex. Okay. A few helpful visual aids on this question. It seems like the audience is all over the place. I've become less convinced by Britt's answer because someone in the chat says that jellyfish might not even have a spine at all, which now that I'm visualizing them, I can't. You kind of see everything going on with the jellyfish. I'm going to go ahead and say it's not Britt. It's either a disappearing butt or sex for fun. I'm a little bit more convinced by the disappearing butt. Jellyfish they seem to kind of go with the flow. Oh, wow. Actually, that is convincing.
I need to draw a butt. But I can't. It disappears. I can't draw it.
Go with Jess on this one. Jess, that bell's ringing for you. You've got 5 points. Disappearing butt. When you think about it, really the only answer that makes sense.
Will actually here.
Sounds
Disappearing
right.
butt it is. Well done.
Thank you, Jess. Jess, you've taught us 2 new things. You've taught us about the Goodyear Blimp, not a bird at all, and you've taught us about the disappearing butt. A lot of things that are not what they seem tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny and Britt with 2 very convincing answers on that one. 2 very convincing drawings. The jellyfish saying, "I like sex," is not a visual aid that I will forget soon. Let's go to the 3rd question in the first round, which is, in the world of electronic music, what does ADSR stand for? Once again, that acronym, I believe this is called an acronym, is ADSR. I am coming to Kenny first on this one. Kenny, what is your answer?
It stands for attack, decay, sustain, release, which is the shape of the way that the sound is made. The attack, how long it takes it to go away, how long it's held, and how long it takes to fade out.
Attack, decay, sustain, release. Those all sound like music words, Kenny. Definitely in electronic music. That could be what words stand for. Kenny, thank you. I definitely believe you now, especially. Let's go to Jess. Jess, what is the acronym?
The acronym actually stands for Automatic Dance Somatic Response. So the acronym is sort of describing the phenomenon of when you hear electronic music, like that like feeling you get when the beat drops, when the bass drops, and it's like whatever, and you just like feel compelled to dance.
Yes, I recognize that feeling.
Yes, so that is a description of the phenomenon that happens that moves you to dance when you hear electronic music.
Interesting. So a song, for instance, with a high ADSR would be a very dancey song. A low ADSR, that would be sort of a not so dancey song.
Exactly.
Okay. Jess, can you give me an example of a high ADSR song?
Yes. So like Turn Down for What?
Oh, beautiful. Okay, great. Yeah. What about a low ADSR song?
Danny Boy.
Okay.
Very low ADSR.
Got it. Very helpful. Thank
Not
you.
A sample song.
Jess. I'm seeing in the chat that it's only an acronym if you say it like a word. So let's go ahead and give that a shot. Britt, what does Adsr stand for?
All right. So people don't realize there's actually a ranking in the electronic music world of artists that are popular and people that really get into it. And it's like a kind of jokey thing. It started on Reddit. And ADSR is absolutely destroying senior. So that basically means somebody that's doing super well in the industry. So fucking I don't know. No, Skrillex is dubstep. But an electronics artist, absolutely destroying senior.
Absolutely destroying senior. So this would be someone who's been in the industry a while and is doing well.
Yeah. So it's going to be at least 12, 13 years. Something like that. Yeah.
Okay, great.
And
Kenny, one more time. Yours was add, destroy, senior.
Attack, decay, sustain, release. On a synthesizer.
Decay, sustain,
release.
Okay.
And there are 4 knobs on a synthesizer that you would mess with.
That makes sense. So we're now getting performance requests. We've really got to round up round 1 on this one. Listen, Britt thought it was a Reddit joke. Kenny thought it was 4 knobs on a synthesizer, and Jess thought it was how much a song makes you want to dance. I'm definitely seeing the most support in the chat for Kenny. I haven't gone with the chat so far on this, so let's just go. I'm going full chat on this. I'm going to give 5 points to Kenny for for attack, decay,
sustain,
response, release.
And you'd be correct.
Nailed it.
Wow.
Exactly right. Will loves when that happens. Will,
I love it.
He loves it.
So good so far.
oh, Will's having a good time. That always brings a smile to my face. Of course, I don't care who's right. I just care who sounds right. And right now, Kenny sounds the most right. Kenny, you're in the lead at the end of round 1 with 10 points. Britt, you are in last place right now, but there's plenty of time. That was just round 1.
Yeah. This is water, by the way.
That sounds right.
Weird.
Just for context.
A-D-S.
Was I supposed to bring more visual aids?
The chat is screaming for him.
We're really using a lot of visual examples tonight, everybody.
Oh, don't make me sing. Everybody's asking me to sing. Sing.
We're all enjoying ourselves. Britt, you're in the last place, but there's plenty of time to make up the difference. As we head into round 2, is there anything you want to share with the audience?
With me. Oh, that I would like to share?
Anything you want to share?
Yeah, so not only am I champion, gonna be again, maybe, I don't know, here, question mark. I'm also the women's champion in quarantine action wrestling right now. Well, my character, Small Brittles, is. For those who don't know what that is, every Thursday, we're back with season 2. Jess is also in it as well. Her wrestler is named Cold Hard Cashin. Right?
And Bold Hard Bashin. How dare you forget her?
Oh yeah. See, there's arcs, guys.
He's gonna be mad at you.
Wrestling and all that stuff. Thursday nights at 8 p.m. That's my deal, and that's what I'm sticking to.
Amazing. Britt, we have a question from the audience. Are you doing dope comedy this Saturday?
That is a very good question. Maybe if you know what? If there's request. Oh, that's Rachel. She. Oh yeah.
This is a practical.
I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it this weekend. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Yes, great. And I do Dope History some Saturdays. Subscriber only at 3 p.m. You can check that out too.
Great. We've got history show, action wrestling, starting up on Thursday. Thank you so much, Britt. Let's dive into round 2, shall we? We're gonna ask a question. The question is, here it goes. What famous Easter egg symbolized death in all 3 of the Godfather movies? Okay, for those of you who don't know, the Godfather movies were movies. Okay, now there were 3 of them. There was one Easter egg that symbolized death in all of them. Britt, what was it? What was the Easter egg?
So the Easter egg was oranges. Anytime oranges were seen during the Godfather movies in any sort of way, excuse me, that symbolized death or something bad was going to happen, particularly to the character connected to it. So, for example, I forget which I think it's Godfather Part 1, where Sonny is about to get ambushed. He sees like a billboard has oranges on it. Right before Vito Corleone has a heart attack, he's eating an orange. So this is a familiar Easter egg in movies. I learned it from a fact book that I put little facts on my blackboard in my apartment. So,
wow, Britt, that was a lot of details. So we're getting from Britt that oranges symbolize death in all 3 Godfather movies. Kenny, what's your answer?
So it's Calabrian chili. They kind of look like Fresno peppers, the classic kind of like red pepper thing. Every time someone dies, you can see, or not every time, but in some of the famous shots, there's a scene where it zooms in behind them. You can see the Calabrian chilies. And also in The Sopranos, there's a scene where one of the main characters dies, and on the dashboard is a cross and a hanging red pepper, which is sort of like a same motif, kind of like a little ode.
So, sort of an homage to the Godfather movies.
Yeah, because it's at least this is not about The Sopranos, but The Sopranos also has like lots of references to things like The Godfather and Goodfellas. So that's one of them. It's from The Godfather.
Wow. Kenny, also an impressive answer. I was very convinced by Britt's answer. Then I heard Kenny's answer, and I became very convinced by Kenny's answer. That it's really anybody's game. Jess, what's your answer?
The answer is actually trumpet music. Whenever you hear the background music kind of switch to trumpets, it means that within the next couple of scenes, someone is going to be offed. It's got a really, really high ADSR. Trumpet music does.
So it's got a high ADSR.
Yeah,
the trumpets start, everybody starts dancing.
It brings a whole new meaning to Dance Till You Die. Am I right?
Play from
I don't have
are, I agree with Exploding Lobster in the chat. All of these are extremely plausible. It could be oranges. It could be the chili pepper. It could be trumpets.
Trumpets.
It really could be any of these answers. The audience likes oranges. The audience likes oranges. Oh, some of them like peppers though, and I gotta be honest, I was really convinced by that Sopranos detail. Everybody, Kenny wouldn't just think of something even unrelated to The Godfather. That would be some high level thinking. Do we agree? Jess, what do you think?
No.
I think it's trumpets.
The oranges are only in one of the movies.
The oranges are only in one movie?
Yeah.
No, there's multiple times it happens. No, I'm serious. If you watch Godfather Part 3, Vito Corleone has a heart attack right before he's slicing and eating oranges in his yard.
Yeah, that's
in his
only
yard.
That's only one movie, Britt.
No,
But you know what? All three of them have trumpet music.
I'm sorry. Was he growing the orange in his yard?
Probably because he was a rich mafia don who doesn't grow oranges.
Okay, I've never seen these movies. Britt, you seem impassioned. The audience likes your answer. Let's go with oranges. Oranges, that sounds right. They could be eating oranges. Honestly, I'm saying it. A pepper sounds more intimidating, like The Godfather. But I already rang the bell. That's the rule. Britt, you get 5 points. I really think.
And you were right. Misinformation. It was oranges. Yeah.
The audience is right. I really thought it was Kenny's answer to be honest.
I've
never seen any of the Godfather movies either.
I just watched an episode of The Sopranos where they used pepper as a symbol for death. So I just reported it back.
I didn't know that.
I've never seen The Sopranos either, or The Godfather.
All right. I've been indulging the chat a lot tonight, so I'm going to really go rogue on some of these later questions. Let's go ahead and read the next one. The next one is, a byproduct of the 4-track recorder was that it allowed artists to record at home. What was the actual intended use? Okay, so there's a 4-track recorder. It's intended for something else, but also as a byproduct, it sort of let artists record at home. Okay, but I'm looking for the intended use here. Let's go to Jess first. Jess, what's what? What
what's what? Yeah, so the intended use of the 4-track recorder was actually to replace the black box on planes. So you know how, like, whenever there's like a high-profile plane crash or something, they'll always talk about like, oh, we're going to find the black box, because the black box records what's happening in the cockpit, and that will often help them figure out what happened and what caused the crash, because they can hear the pilot's conversation. But black boxes are limited in how much they're actually able to record. So by introducing this 4-track recorder, it was going to enable them to record for a much longer period of time and potentially help more with investigations into plane crashes. Interesting.
The 4-track recorder meant to replace I've never even known about the black box on planes. So I'm already learning, Jess. That's a great answer. Let's go to Britt next. Britt, what's your answer?
So the 4-track recorder, it was invented in the 1980s or very early, late 70s, early 80s. And the thing that's very interesting about it, originally was used to be government. This is like crazy because of what happened earlier. It was used as government surveillance, like kind of recording government stuff because of what happened with Watergate and Nixon. So it was something that, people toyed with and played with as a way to like do multiple, and that's what happened. So it was intended to be government recording, and then turned out to be used for 4-track recorder used for music industry.
I see. So it was intended for government use.
Yep.
Jeff says it was intended for plane use. Let's go ahead and go to Kenny. Kenny, what was the intended use?
It was intended for quadraphonic sound. So you know how we have stereo systems, which means left and right? They were going to introduce quadraphonic sound systems, which were left, right, front, back. But that never caught on, so we had these recording devices with 4 tracks. So now there were open tracks, which allowed people to record multiple things themselves. as opposed to being limited.
Okay, Kenny.
Yes,
Okay,
so it meant they were going to be four. There's 2 speakers, and there were going to be 4, but 4 never happened. So they're open lanes to record on.
there are. I see. Okay. So Kenny, you're telling me that there was going to be 4 for sort of a
Surround
north,
sound,
south, east,
yeah.
west surround sound, but instead they were like, never mind, and they left them open, and then that made it so that people could record at home.
Yeah, they could
Okay.
record over. Before you would record on 2, and that'd be it. But now there's 2, and there's an open 2, so you can record over what you just made.
I see.
That's
I've
the
flown
long
on a lot of
answer.
planes. I used to work for a travel company. Fly all the time.
You know what? That's
Like
true,
now.
actually. I know this about Jess, that Jess did used to work for a travel company. So this might be an area of knowledge. For Kenny, Kenny has a music show right here on 2MB Studios. So that's music knowledge related to this 4-track recorder. And Britt knows about history, as we just established. Really,
Government history.
a government history, which is kind of what we're talking about here. So
what I
really,
Oh, that's my wheelhouse.
this could be anybody's. You know what? Jess, I need to ask you a question about this.
Yes, my love.
Before, why did they need 4 tracks to record the plane sounds?
No, it's not the plane sounds. It's the conversations happening inside the cockpit. But the reason why they needed 4 tracks is because the black box is only limited to recording for a certain amount of time, about half an hour, 45 minutes on most planes. So getting the 4-track recorder would allow for a longer recording time and potentially getting more information about crashes and what caused them.
More information. You know, Jess, I like your answer. Send to me. It was very clear. I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I'm gonna go with Jess's answer. That sounds right. That sounds right to me.
Well,
Because,
actually,
you know,
here,
many times when new technology becomes invented,
Mhm.
they use it for planes, is what I was going to say.
Unfortunately, in this case, you are incorrect. It was Kenny who was spot on for that one.
You know, oftentimes when I don't quite understand the answer, that ends up being the one that's right. You know this? Huh. That's kind of funny. You know, where are we at? Is this round 2? Yeah, this is round 2.
yeah.
Let's go to the next question before we stop and talk about the scores. We've got one more question here in round 2, which is, how often does the average human fart a day? And how fast does the fart travel from the human body in miles per hour? Okay, so we've got how many farts, and also how fast do the farts leave the human body miles per hour. I'm really looking forward to hearing these answers, and I'm going to come to you first.
You there? Is it me?
No, it's her.
Britt, you started talking about stuff again, and they took misinformation away.
Oh no! Oh,
Britt!
God, I knew this would happen.
Come
God.
on, man.
No. Kenny,
Come on.
Kenny looks disappointed in me. Kenny, you're the last person I want to disappoint, okay?
It's all good.
Come on, man.
I'm behind you.
Oh,
and-
we're alone. Okay, we're back.
okay. Okay. Woo!
The interruption, everyone.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
I hope you had a second to get your thoughts together about the really serious biology question we're about to answer. Kenny, I'm going to head back to you. How many farts and how fast do they travel?
It's 3, and it's 50 miles an hour.
3 farts at 50 miles per hour. That's pretty fast, Kenny.
Methane's a heavy gas, so it disperses pretty quickly. It goes to the ground.
Right.
It was considered. It was a consideration in COVID social distancing standards.
Really? I didn't realize that.
Mhm.
Can COVID travel in
It was a concern at the beginning, so they had to figure out like what your distance is from the front and the back, right?
mm-hmm. You know, Kenny, I'm seeing from the audience here that that 3 farts might be a little low.
It's an average, though. I mean, like that's how averages work.
Right. You know, I suppose that's correct, Kenny. That average might be very thrown off by some people who don't fart at all. Let's go ahead and hear Jess's answer. Jess, how many farts and how fast?
The average human farts about 20 times a day, but they're far slower than what Kenny is saying. It's actually much closer to like 15, 20 miles an hour. Because here's the thing, you do fart a lot throughout the day, but most of the time you don't realize you're doing it. Like not every single fart that a person has is that like loud, sonorous, like disruptive in a classroom kind of fart. Most of the time they're very quiet. You don't even necessarily realize that they're happening, so it comes out quite slowly.
Jess, I'm glad you mentioned that because typically when I think of a fart, I do think of the kind you've described, the interrupting a classroom, dishonorous fart. But that was an excellent detail. Thank you. Let's go to Britt. Britt,
real high ADSR.
high ADSR on those farts.
ADSR fart.
Britt, what do you think? How many farts and how fast?
All right. So the average human farts about 14 times a day, and the average speed is 7 miles per hour. And take it from someone who meets and usually exceeds those qualifications. So I in fact fart higher than the average American. Or
you seem proud of that, Britt. Are you?
No, I wear that badge with absolute honor. Take it from the person who just literally got a ton of Taco Bell and ate some cookies. There's some Pringles here. I got Famous Amos. Like, listen.
Wow. You know, Britt, those are a lot of convincing qualifications that you have here. And I'll remind you that if you get the master's degree tonight, it is in a field of your choice. Yeah. But Britt, can you tell me your number one more time? Was it 7?
It was 14. Oh, so 14 times is the average of fart time. Like, and the miles per hour is 7 miles per hour. So it's like it's
7 miles per hour.
7.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So Kenny said 3 farts at 50 miles per hour.
Yeah,
Britt said 14 at only 3 miles per hour. And Jess, 7 miles per hour. And Jess, you said...
I said 20 at about
20
15,
farts.
About 15 miles per hour.
At 15 miles per hour. You know, it could be anybody's. It could be anybody's. We could go 3.
It's anybody's gas,
3
right?
farts, 20. It's anybody's guess. That's funny, Jess. That was a good joke, Jess. I'm going to go right in the middle here in terms of number, and I'm going to go with 14. Let's go with Britt's answer. For 14 farts on average, that seems reasonable. 7 miles per hour is the speed at which Britt said those farts are traveling.
Will actually here, and Britt is correct.
Wow.
14 farts on average, 6.8 miles an hour. That's a lot of farts.
It sure is, Will.
A lot of farts at a good speed.
Will loves those correct answers. Britt, thank you for sharing.
Farts are very fun.
Oh, thanks, Will. That was the most laid back Will has ever been on this show. I don't think I've ever seen him so pleased at an answer. Britt, you just seem so confident. You just seem so ready to give that answer.
Well, I literally farted while giving an answer. So
that probably helped.
If only
that definitely lends credibility.
If only subconsciously. You convinced us all.
This ain't no joke, okay?
So, Britt, you've come up from behind here. We're now at a tied game, 10-10. Kenny, you were in the lead. The other two are catching up. Anything that you want to share with the audience? How are you feeling now that you've got them hot on your tail?
Oh, it's fun. I love it. I love the competition. Am I supposed to tell the people something that I want them to see or something?
Only if you want to.
Oh, sure.
Your time.
No, I'm having a blast. Jess and Britt killing it. I love farts, and I love talking about jellyfish with dicks. I love it. And you can check out me and my friend Will make a TikTok, and you can check that out. It's at WeAreKillJ. We got a green screen, and we got ideas, and we have time, so we're doing it. So
I highly suggest it. I seriously, I'm not just saying that. It's great.
At WeAreKillJ. Yeah, I have to say, I love those TikToks, Kenny. Thank you for that plug. Everybody, thank you for joining us for round 2. Let's launch right into round 3. Now, round 3, question 1 is Bob Moog, founder of the famous synthesizer company Moog Instruments, started his career off by building what instrument? Bob Moog built an instrument. What was it? Jess, let's go to you.
Bob Moog, yes, he started off his career by building specifically timpani drums.
Timpani drums. Thank you,
drums.
Britt.
Everybody thinks Zildjian is where it's at with the drums. No, Moog.
Great, Bob Moog. Britt, what instrument?
It was actually, he was from Australia, and it was actually didgeridoos, which is really crazy. So
Really?
Yeah. And
very interesting.
Yeah. And I mean, his name is Bob Moog. So Moog. Like Moog.
Got it. Kenny, what's your answer?
Yeah, so people pronounce it both ways, but Bob Moog started building theremins, the thing that goes like, woo!
Oh, I know those.
Yeah, they were like,
can we have a band with a didgeridoo, a timpani, and
theremin?
Yeah, can we have the most absurd band that makes
and we are gonna drop some beats, let me tell you. They're all gonna be danceable.
All right. We've got to keep this round tight. I think we all know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna give 5 points to Kenny, who gave the right answer.
And you'd be right.
I was very confident on that one. Excellent. Can't wait to hear that new band's music. Let's move to question 2, which is, there is an episode of Peppa Pig that is banned in Australia. Why? I can't wait to hear this. Why is this episode of Peppa Pig banned in Australia? Britt, I'm coming to you first. Why?
It's because there is one point, the Papa Pig, the dad, is bending over, and it looks like that he's actually performing an interesting position on his wife.
What? And he's performing an interesting position on his wife?
The way he bends over, and he does it for a second, but it's it's obvious. It looks bad. So
what does it look like, Britt?
Okay, well, I'm gonna draw it with 2 jellyfish. Okay,
Britt is gonna draw us a picture. Let's go to Kenny. Kenny, what's your answer while Britt's working on that picture?
So there's this episode where each member of the family shows each other their ass, and it's sort of it's about sharing who you are with each other, and it's sort of a metaphor, and it's allowed in the US, but it's not allowed in Australia. It's called the Peppa Family Shows Their Ass. It's
family?
Is that it's always
Are they called the Peppa Family? So the Peppa family, as Kenny calls it, the Peppa family all shows each other their asses.
One by one, they get in a circle, and someone, like an improv game, they get in the center and they share their ass.
My picture's done. You can save it.
All right, save the visual aid for 1 second. Britt, Jess, let me hear. Jess, what's your answer? We have just to summarize so far. The father looks like he's performing something. We still don't know what. Looks like that would be oral intercourse.
Oh my gosh.
On the mother pig, is that yes? And Kenny's answer is they all show each other their butts on purpose, one by one. Jess, what's your answer?
So unfortunately, my answer is not as salacious as the other two. The episode is banned because it teaches children not to be afraid of spiders. Like it's an episode all about like, oh, like look, it's just a spider. It's so nice. Blah, 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 blah. Don't be afraid. But in Australia, there are so many spiders, and they're all trying to kill you.
Right. So they don't want children not being afraid. They want children to be afraid.
There is a very real need to be afraid of spiders in Australia. It's why I'll never go there. So,
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's because it teaches children not to be afraid of spiders when they absolutely need to be in Australia.
So Jess, I'm going to be honest. I was really ready to give this to Britt, but my question, I guess, about that was like, if it looks so much like a sex act that the Peppas are doing on each other, why would they only ban it in Australia? And Jess, your answer makes perfect sense with this specific location. The audience loves Jess's answer. Let's go with Jess. We're giving 5 points to Jess, although Britt, the visual aid really helped your case. Actually, I'm not gonna lie, it probably hurt your case.
Well,
the visual aid.
My jellyfish was like 2 tampons. I get it.
Thank you, Kenny. That really clears it up. I didn't really understand the ass circle before.
I love the idea that episode is acceptable everywhere, but I
really hope Kenny's is true.
That was really the best thing ever. No, Jess is right on that one.
Yeah.
Correct.
I hate thunders.
Thank you, Will.
Big episode with ass circle.
We've got one more question here. Someone in the audience called the episode Peppa Lets Loose, and I can't stop thinking about it. The last question in round 3 is, what is the strange name of the champion racehorse from the late 1700s who won over 30 races, and what are the origins of the horse's name? All right, everybody's going to get like 5 seconds to answer. Give me the strange champion racehorse name and the origins. Kenny, what is it?
It's Blow Me Daddy is the name of the horse. And blow was a term for running really fast, so it just sort of meant like blow me away, but like a quick one is blow me. So that's, and it's true. And the cool thing is that it's true, and that's it.
Okay, thank you, Kenny.
I can draw the horse if you need me to.
You know, I think that actually left a really clear image in my mind. Jess, let's go ahead and go to you.
Yes, the strange name of the horse is Pope Clement the 16th, because it was actually a member of the Swiss Guard. It was like a horse that was part of the Swiss, like, not that horses are the Swiss Guard, but one of the horses that like the Swiss Guard would like ride on to get around. And it was retired from their fleet and then entered the racing world, and they named it after the Pope at the time.
Named after the Pope.
Named after the Pope at the time, Pope Clement the 16th.
Of the time. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Jess, that's a great answer. But it could also be Blow Me Daddy. So let's go to Britt. Britt, what's your answer?
So it's Potato, but it's not the way you think. This popular horse named Potato, and that's the government. Don't worry about it. So Potato, the stable boy was told to write down the name, and he couldn't read or write very well, and he heard potato and thought potate, and then 8 O's, so it's potato with 8 O's. And the owner was like, "That's so fucking funny," or keeping it. So a champion horse that won over 30 races in the late 1700s to 1800 was a horse named Potato.
Okay, so either it's potato with 8 O's, it's Blow Me Daddy, or it's
Pope Clement the 16th.
Clement the 16th. I think we all know that it's named after the Pope. It's the only thing that makes sense. No offense, Kenny and Britt, but I'm giving 5 points to Jess for an answer that sounds right. A racehorse named after a Pope that only makes sense.
Well, actually,
5 points to Jess.
That might sound right, but it is actually not right. It was a horse named Potato.
Oh, Potato with
potatoes.
Was that horse race? That's a very, very, very surprising answer.
It's my favorite thing of all time.
Thank you for teaching us that. And Jess, thank you for the answer that sounded right. Very
We've
good
been
now.
a Pope Summit the 16th.
Let's go ahead and go to our bonus round, everybody. We've got one round left. We're going to do a few questions visual style. I'm going to ask the question, show a picture. Audience members, the cool thing about this round is I don't give any points. You give the points. It's all up to you. If you want to give somebody a point, go ahead and put their name in the chat. All right? This is going to determine the winner of tonight. It is all visual. Let's see that first question. What is this? Britt, what is this?
That is the cover of Harper's Ferry magazine in 1968.
Jess, what is this?
That's the thing that Rose threw over the boat at the end of Titanic.
Penny, what is this?
It's the stone that powers all father's rage.
Will, what is this actually?
It's a black opal.
This is a black opal, everybody. It's just that's a semi-precious gemstone, I believe. All right. Great. We've got a few bonus points coming in. Very exciting. Who is this? Britt, who is this?
That's your motherfucking sorcerer, Rasputin. It's the Christopher Lloyd version, though.
Great. Jess, who is this?
Rah, rah, Rasputin, lover of the Russian queen.
Kenny, who is this?
The person who originally voiced Elmo.
Will, who is this actually?
It is Rasputin. Gregory Rasputin.
Thank you very much. Excellent work, everybody. Excellent work. Let's go to the next question here. What's special about this guitar? Britt, what's special about it?
It can fit in my ass.
Jess, what's special about this guitar?
It's left-handed.
Kenny, what's special about this guitar?
I think that's Eric Clapton's guitar, Blackie.
Well, what is special about this guitar?
It was owned by David Gilmour and it sold for $3.9 million.
Wow.
Wow.
I didn't know
Wow,
he
wow,
was
wow,
smart.
wow, wow.
Wow, wee wow.
Wow.
Very exciting. Very exciting. Let's get the next one. Next question here.
Hello?
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
It was Rasputin. It was Rasputin.
It was Rasputin. Rasputin is...
Hey, everybody, what is this? Starting with Britt.
All right. That was, that's an old incense putter-outer flamer thingy from the 1600s.
All right, Jess, what is this?
Jess, what is it?
That is all that's left of my 4th grade project on Mesopotamia.
Kenny, what is it?
It's what's left. It's the only known remaining fecal matter of Cleopatra.
Nice.
It's actually the
Wow,
Pessit canoe,
that's
the
really
oldest
special.
known boat.
Oh.
Are we there?
It's the oldest known boat. Thank you. Let's do one more.
All right.
Oh my
We've got a bunch
God.
of bonus points coming in.
Who is this, Britt?
Britt,
That's a fucking dog from Oliver and Company. One of them, at least.
Britt,
All right.
what's his name?
His name is Clemens. I don't know.
All right, Jess, who is this?
His name is Dietrich, and he's from the Aristocats.
Kenny, who is this?
That's Winston Churchill on his first day in office.
His name is actually Francis, and he is from Oliver and Company.
Yes.
Francis. Britt, you were so close.
Francis.
Very, very close, Britt. All right, folks, we're going to close it out. I have the points tallied. It is almost time for Poof the Magical Game Show. Let's go ahead and declare a winner. All right. It was very, very close when we started. It still is close, but we have a winner pulling ahead for a master's degree.
Oh my God.
My God.
Are you
Not allowed to happen. It's not supposed to happen.
Why?
I'm going to take this time promo myself because I
Say what I
haven't done that yet.
All right, yeah,
Watch
Jess,
the
go ahead.
Sleepover every other Saturday. And also this coming Saturday, watch Musical Comedy Night, where if you wanted to hear me sing before, you'll definitely get to hear me sing on Musical Comedy Night this Saturday.
Yeah.
Right here on 2MB Studios.
All right, thank you so much. Just stick around for Poof starting now,
Wait,
actually.
are we not going to find out who won?
No,
I
I
hope
don't
so.
get to. What? This is the best thing ever.
Will, you don't know?
I don't know because misinformation was calculating the points. Let's see if she comes
Can we
back here.
test this information?
Oh no.
All right, guys, this is the hardest I've laughed. Like, this is like legit, genuine. Just. This is your new screensaver, everyone.
Maybe she'll be back in a couple of moments. If not, we will.
Oh my god.
All right.
Wow. Britt, you said too
Well,
much tonight, and now they've
I
just
really
taken her.
did. I think 2MB Studios is really an amazing station. The government is great. Everyone
Hopefully
is great.
misinformation is still alive after this. I'm being told in
hope
the
so.
chats that we have to go because of
I
Poof.
love America.
So I'm so sorry. You will learn who
Great.
won very shortly. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, Britt, for being
you.
here
Thank
for
you.
us. And we'll let you know as soon as possible.
That's great. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Oh, man.